Welcome into the Hustle Show podcast, simulcast live on the WagerTalk YouTube channel and brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer. Guys, we are breaking down the the Elite Eight. Excuse me. We're almost to the Final Four. We got three of the best in the business. Starting off here, Kelly Stewart at Kelly in Vegas. Kelly, happy Saturday morning to you. Welcome on in.
Hey, good morning, guys. Just remember, I'm not a morning person, so I'm going to be having some coffee and trying to get my life together. Met the neighbors last night and then consumed entirely too many bottles of wine. So I'm a little rough. So everybody bear with me, but I got a best bet for you guys at the end of the show.
Kelly, Florida neighbors, sometimes they like to throw them back, just to give you a warning.
Sounds like honestly, yeah, I'm not well. But the good news is she texted me she was throwing up, so I'm better than she is, I guess.
Always good to be on good terms with the neighbors. We got Chris Thurston here at CTBet16. Normally, he would be a good neighbor, I would think. A fun time. Chris, welcome in. Happy Saturday morning to you.
This neighbor hates him. Tell the story about the crazy neighbor lady from Boston.
Oh, that's Harriet, Cal. That's Harriet.
She's pretty old.
Since everybody came to visit us this summer, the 4th of July extravaganza, the whole neighborhood thinks we're absolutely out of our minds. Martin Betts, good to be here, I think. Horrific day for CT Bets yesterday. 0-3. Good news is I did cash Kansas over 2.5 wins, which I bet pretty big out in the Westgate. And if you're listening to the show, you got a good price. Kansas plus 110 over 2.5 wins when they were about minus 350 yesterday in the money line. So another saving grace. You guys are going to be mad at Cal and I, but a good friend of ours texted us yesterday. I can't believe we did. That he had inside info on spring training game, and it was the Cleveland Guardians, and Kel and I whacked it, and they won like $1 million to 2. So I wasn't going to come out and tweet that one out or come out and give that to anybody. So
well, that's the problem, Chris, and that happens a lot. I mean, when you get in this industry and you start to make friends with people and you start to do these things, like I get great texts all the time, but it's not my information to share, and that's where it gets really difficult. Because, of course, I would love to tweet out, hey, guys, bet the Cleveland Guardians plus 140. I would love to. Win or lose, the information's still good. But that's not my information to share. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. I don't want there to be times where people are like, well, I can't tell this to Kelly because she'll tweet it out. You know what I mean? It's like you got to kind of keep those people close. And, you know, we could have at least shared in the group chat, though, Chris. That was kind of a dickhead move. I forgot. I got the text. I was mid-show busy doing WagerTalk today, bet it then, and then just forgot even it happened until you text Matt and I and said, hey, great call. They won 10-2. I'm like, oh, yeah, I bet that. I completely forgot.
Nice cash there. Big plus price spring training inside information from CT Vets and KIV. Trig, welcome on in, man. At Top Flight SI. Happy Saturday morning to you, buddy.
What's going on, Drew? Spring training baseball can be good if you can get ahead of some of the moves because just look at the lineups. I mean, that's usually what it is. Sometimes you've got a team going out against the backups and they haven't really adjusted the odds, so you can get a plus price like that ends up being like a blowout. So that's good stuff. Yeah, only Iowa State for me last night didn't work out, but it's been a better run. So I've got one I like today. Hopefully we can get back in the win column.
Yeah, Trig seen it well in college basketball, just the one loss there. So hopefully get some winners out to you guys on today's show. A quick show. We don't have that many games, guys. But we do have some news in terms of the hustle going forward past college basketball. We'll keep you updated here over the next episode or two. But always remember, guys, we are brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer. Check them out, vivatequilaseltzer.com. You can get it shipped to you. Also, remember the coupon code HUSTLE takes 10% off. Make sure to check out WagerTalk.com. Free plays up on today's card. UFC, we got college basketball as well.
Sorry, Drew, I want to interrupt you. Nailed that. Prez put me on the spot yesterday on Wager Talk today, and he's like, and I had my Viva shirt on. He's like, oh, Kel, tell me about Viva Tequila Seltzer. And my brain just went, and I was like, well, the grapefruit's the best flavor. I can tell you that much. I also like watermelon, but I was like, fuck, what is Drew's read? I could not for the life of me. I could not for the life of me remember. It was not good. So shout out to Drew for doing that read every single week, nailing it, because it's not as easy as it looks. So thank you,
No,
Drew.
no. Practice makes perfect, though. And hey, Viva, they flavored their tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with a kick, just as we like to live our lives. As we're getting into the games here, guys, we got 2 tonight. Well, we got the nightcap, Arkansas and Duke. In the first game up, we got what is it? Villanova and Houston. Houston -2.5. We got a low total here, 127.5. I guess. What are we just breaking all the games down? The 2 tonight and the 2 tomorrow. Is that cool?
I think that makes the most sense. Unless Drew, you'd like to start by recapping what happened the last 2 days.
If you would like to, Kelly. I mean, I'm good just getting into the games. That's usually why people.
That means I can go lay on the couch sooner. I'm down, or the couch sooner.
Yeah, I guess we can use a little bit of recap in the games as we're giving out picks here. I'll tell you this though, Kelly. We can start off with Houston Villanova. It's the first game up, guys. Kind of a Saturday happy hour special here, 6:00 Eastern. Houston -2.5, low total 127.5, even ticking down from 128 opener. Villanova, 5 of their last 6 games to the under. They have won 3 straight against the spread. I bring that up, Kelly, because look at this Houston Cougar squad, winning 6 straight up and against the spread, and on a 10-1 against the spread run. Talking about this AAC team, kind of going really under the radar. People know about Arkansas's run against the spread. How about Houston, 10-1 against the spread? It's the Cougs are past for me, Kelly.
No, absolutely. And I'll save most of it for the end of the show.
Okay.
But this Houston Cougars team clearly was very underseeded. They probably should have been a 3 seed. This defense has been nails. And I tweeted out that was my best bet on Thursday. They just smothered Arizona. And it was really funny because I think nobody believed me on Twitter when I said I didn't watch a second of that game. But that was facts. I did not watch a second of that game. Texas Tech tipped, 4 minutes before or something? And so I look up at it, and Houston was already up double digits. I'm like, well, we just can't change the channel now. This is how it works. And Chris did not believe me when I said that. He and I were on Houston big. I believe Trig had it as his 5% play. So that was awesome. This Houston Cougars team is just nails. And like I said, I'll save it for the end for my best bet.
Yeah, we might revisit this one, guys. Trig, what about you, man? What are you thinking here? Low possession game, good defense, Villanova, Houston.
Yeah, so my initial thought was, well, the odds makers beat us to it with the number being where it is. I think it's probably a good line. I like Houston. I'm a little concerned that it's not the dream matchup like Arizona was for Houston, which Chris and I kind of talked about during the day. We were like, this just couldn't be a better matchup for Houston. I think here you've got Villanova's a little more, disciplined. They can shoot over the Houston defense, but Houston, the reason I didn't end up getting to the window with Michigan against Villanova was because I didn't trust Michigan's guards to defend Villanova on the perimeter. Houston won't have that problem. And College Lepsey's a little bit banged up, which is probably a bigger issue than I feel like is being talked about right now. So I haven't bet it yet. I think I would probably look to the money line. I don't really want to lay the 2.5, but I definitely lean toward Houston in this spot.
Okay, sounds like we're on the same page here. And CT Bet 16. What are you thinking in the first tip-off game today?
Drew Martin bets. Brett, Kelly's boyfriend, who is a friend of ours, and I have been talking about this Houston team all year long. Other than myself, he's the only person that thought this team was good. Everybody else would tell me that they suck. They had too many injuries. They couldn't compete. I love this Houston team. Drew Martin bets. It was Kelly and I's best bet on Thursday night, and I'm going to save a breakdown for best bets as well. But yeah, they're tough, man. And I do think it was a great matchup for them on Thursday. And I think they're going to give Nova a tough time as well. Nova's very, very small. Those guards are very tiny. But we could get into that later on. And but
that made me think of the show where they're like, he has tiny hands.
Kelvin Sampson, what a job he has done. I mean, all-time great coach in college basketball, and what he's done with this Cougar program the last few years has been remarkable.
Yeah, you bring up good coach. I mean, he's one of them. Tell you the truth, good coaching seems to kind of rise to the top here. I know it does in a lot of tournaments, but especially this one, guys, as we've seen a lot of these teams with the, better X's and O's coach kind of move on here. Speaking of one of those, actually 2 of those in this game, interested in your guys' opinion in terms of who the better coach is in this game. Arkansas, Duke, it's the nightcap tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, 147.5. The total -4. That's the Dukies in San Francisco here. Musselman, Coach K. I like Arkansas. I really do. Ooh, Pig Suey here. CT Bets. I know you have a future here on the Arkansas Razorbacks. What, 80-1 to win the national championship? Great bet by you and Trig. I like Arkansas tonight. I think that they get it's also their defense. You know, their transition defense. They're holding their opponents the last 2 games to what, under 0.8 points per possession. That's kind of a crazy run against, especially when one of those offenses was Gonzaga. I think Arkansas wins outright. I took them +4. What are you thinking here, CT Bets?
Yeah, Drew Martin Bets, a lot of people asking what I'm doing with this game. Actually, I just got off the phone with Brett right before this. He was asking me what I was doing. What I plan to do is I'm going to bet Arkansas first half. I did this Thursday as well. And then I'm going to also see how the game is going. I believe Arkansas is going to get out to a fast start here. We've seen Duke really struggle in the first half. These kids take a while to settle in here. So that's what I'm going to do, Drew Martin Bets. I think if I want to get out of it, you're going to be able to get a better price on the money line with Duke than -180, which is the cheapest price that I've seen right now. So I'm not going to lay anything off right now. But Drew Martin Bets, fun little fact for you. My sister-in-law, who is absolutely on fire betting, she's a $100 player, but she does rev it up a little bit. Her max bet is $600. When we were out in Vegas, my brother was telling Kelly and I and Brett how on fire she is. She's hitting dogs outright in college hoops. And she told me this morning, she said she's going to the game and she's max bet in Arkansas. She loves the Hogs +4 today, and she's on fire, Drew Martin Bets. So I think she her mind is in a very good place right now, and I think she's on to something. This Hogs team has been on fire. There was a quote I read, Drew Martin Bets, by Musselman this morning. I wanted to read it. It said, I think we were being disrespected the whole year, so it's just another thing for us. They gave Gonzaga an 86% chance to win. We saw that in everything they were saying. We felt like they were dancing before the game. That was disrespect to us. We'll be ready to go. So take that for what it's worth. I do think that JD Note is going to need to play much better.
Oh, God. Point blank, period, the end.
Yeah.
Like, he just has to. I mean,
he was 9 for 29, Drew Martin Bets, and 2 for 13 from deep. He's going to need to play better, Cal. Cal, I was watching a little bit of your show before this. I think you made a really good point. Duke turns the ball over a lot, and Arkansas will be able to capitalize on that. I've been saying this all tournament that the stage was going to be too big for these Duke kids. I've been wrong. They've been nails the last 6-7 minutes of every single game, and they've proved me wrong. The stage is a little bit bigger tonight, Drew Martin Bets. See what these kids bring. This Arkansas team, a lot of transfers, a lot of veteran players. They've been there before. Second year in a row, they've been in the Elite Eight. I think Arkansas has a really good chance tonight, Drew Martin Bets.
Yeah, me too, plus the 4. Kelly, it sounds like you're on the Arkansas side too.
So I haven't bet Arkansas. I was really kicking myself for not betting Arkansas against the Zags after I said that we were standing, I think it was at Vegas Vicky's, and maybe I said it to Chris's brother Steve, and it could have been you, Drew. That was a long day of a lot of drinking at the pool and then headed to dinner at like 10 p.m. But we were talking about how playing the West Coast Conference is a real disadvantage for Gonzaga, but the problem is they're not going to be able to go to a big conference. A, because of geographical locations, and B, because they don't have a football team, right? Like, they can't just join the Pac-12 because they don't have the other teams. That being said, I cannot believe I didn't bet Arkansas against them. Whatever. Beside the point, Arkansas looked great, and I'm afraid they looked a little too great. And Duke looked like dog shit in the first half. Texas Tech did not capitalize on anything that they did in the first half. In the second half, they basically laid down and let Duke make second half adjustments. That's where Coach K is going to come in here. I really like Eric Musselman. I made the game 4. That tells me not to bet this game. Situationally, though, I like the Hogs. And I'm just not sold on this Duke team. But we all know sometimes that the refs can come into play. I think they want to see a North Carolina Duke Final Four, and that concerns me late down the stretch. CT, Trig, either one of you guys going to hedge a little bit here on your future?
I'm going to try at some point. I think I'll do what Chris is kind of suggesting and see if I can get a better Duke money line price in game. I think the number's probably right. I would have been hoping for a little bit bigger of a number to actually come and bet Arkansas as well in this game. So for me, I think I'm just going to root for the Hogs and the future ticket, because I think the number's right, and maybe look to get off of a little bit at some point. But there's no reason Arkansas can't win this game. They just managed to beat Gonzaga, and Duke's similar in a lot of ways. So I wish I was getting a bigger number. I'm like you, Kel, I'm kicking myself that I didn't actually bet them last round. But yeah, that's for here. I think it's a little short to just come in with a pre-flop bet on Arkansas.
Well, I will say this: I've got the WagerTalk odds screen open right now. If you like Arkansas, 3.5s are popping up. So get yourself a 4 now. I think that we won't see any of those come tip off tonight.
I agree.
Guys, so those are the 2 games tonight. We also got Portland, Southern Utah we can hit, but let's hit these.
Drew, I'll hit that in best bets.
Kelly and I will sleep during that. Okay.
All right, that's my best bet is in that game. So I'll
what is that? The CBI or something?
The College Basketball Classic, actually.
It's the Basketball Classic. Do you want me to do it now, or should we wait for best bet?
Please wait until the best bets.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll wait until best bets on that, Trig. No, good stuff as always from Trig, and we can get more on the future there on the Hogs. But we got St. Peter's, North Carolina tomorrow afternoon, guys. Sunday, 137 being the total, -8 or -8.5. That's UNC. St. Peter's, the Peacocks winning on National Peacock Day. That was pretty cool, right? And then just kind of the Cinderella run, Trig, if you want to start off here. How far do you think they can go? Does it end here against UNC? And if it does, can they stay within the 8.5?
Drew, so St. Peter's is from the conference that Sienna's in, so I'm very familiar with this team. All my friends in my Sienna group chat were like, oh, we're going to throw some on St. Peter's money line against Kentucky. I said, you should rip that ticket up now. It has no chance. And here we are with St. Peter's in the Elite Eight. So I didn't think it could go past Murray State, and it did. I didn't think it would go past Purdue, and it did. So, I mean, I'm not going to jump on now, but I certainly don't want to lay points against this blessed team at this point, especially with a North Carolina team that I didn't think would be here either. So I just don't see how I get involved in this game. Obviously, everyone's on St. Peter's. They're going to continue to just ride them, and probably rightfully so at this point, but 8's probably too short. But then again, that's just what happens in March, and teams get hot, and there's like no rhyme or reason for it. So it would have to be UNC against the number, but I just don't think I'll get to the window with it.
Kelly, it's a tough follow after our MAAC specialist in Trig, who's got a degree from the conference. But what are you thinking here with the Peacocks?
I mean, my co-host on Money Shots, Megan, has been chirping about this team for like a month and a half. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And here they are, a 15 seed, saving my Calcutta. I think we almost might be even. I kind of got screwed on a couple of Chattanooga should have probably won at least won the game. And they lost in overtime. Colorado State just didn't come in the second half. And then I ended up on Texas over Va Tech. But Tennessee just getting beat up by an okay Michigan team as a 7.5-point favorite. And now here's this Peacocks team winning on National Peacock Day. I literally got so excited that I spilled an entire glass of wine when they won outright last night. I need them to win this game outright. I'll be honest with you. If they win this game outright, that is going to be some serious coin for me and my partners. Do I think that they can do it? I'm with Trig. Sure they can. Are you seeing this run that this team's on? Of course they can. This is not a great North Carolina team. Granted, they've been on a nice ATS tear. So has St. Peter's. They've just been crushing. The problem is I don't know anything about the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. I haven't watched any of the games all year to say, oh yeah, St. Peter's played this team, and so sure they can hang with North Carolina. I honestly, I'm in a glass case of emotion here. I just have to cheer for this team to win another game outright. But from a numbers perspective, I think the bookmakers are making you basically bet a short number on St. Peter's because they took a bath on St. Peter's money line. I mean, for Christ's sakes, Drew, my aunt called me yesterday and goes, so if I put $100 on St. Peter's to beat Purdue, what do I win? I said, well, you'll win $650, so you'll get back $750. And she goes, yeah, I think I'd like to do that.
Easy.
And what idiot didn't put that in for her? Me, because why would I?
Right.
So now I have to pay out.
Yeah, you got to pay out.
I am just like, she's like, and my aunt, who does know basketball, I mean, she goes to a ton of K-State basketball games. I'm not saying she doesn't know basketball, just who never bets. I mean, that's who the people were betting St. Peter's yesterday. I even asked Megan, I go, did you have any money line sprinkle? And she said, no, of course not. I took the, 13 and a half. And I go, I thought it was too many points. I did, but I let these bookmakers that I'm friends with tell me it's the squarest dog on the freaking planet. And I don't know what to do. I just have to cheer for them. Peacocks, let's go.
It wouldn't have mattered if you watched MAC basketball because Siena blew them out twice, and here they are in the Elite Eight. So go figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did not win the MAC conference regular season. I learned that from an Uber ride in Las Vegas from Trig, there, our MAC specialist. But Kelly, to your point, if you're ever taking bets from friends, just friendly stuff like that, remember to put it in, because if it wins and you didn't put it in, you got to pay it out on that big plus price. It can be very annoying.
This is like a totally a me move. If people ask me to put in a bet for them, I'm probably going to keep it. Like I was at the UFC while we were out in Vegas with Ariel, and I'm talking to a couple of the producers, and we were talking about Conor McGregor and like his whole run. And the guy was like, you didn't bet on Conor against Floyd, did you? I go, absolutely not. But I wasn't laying, $1,200 to win $100 on Floyd. And they go, well, what'd you do? I go, every single one of my friends, hey, can you put $25 here? Can you put $100 there? Can you put $500 on Conor to beat Floyd? And I'm like, yeah. And instead, I just kept it all. That's how you do this. Like these people that never bet. My aunt has never, ever, ever even talked to me about betting, let alone calls me and goes, can you put $100 bet on St. Peter's to win? And I'm like, yeah, sure, lady. I'll do that for you. Like it's just what it is. It's unfortunate. It's mean, but like they wanted to bet it. They're not in Vegas.
Yeah, you're really doing them a favor. So it's kind of like the nice thing to do type thing. But hey, it is what it is. When it hits, you got to pay it out. CT Bets, what are you thinking here, man? How far can the Cinderella run?
I mean, this is getting out of control, and they clearly are a good team. They're blessed. They're playing great basketball. I was sitting in front of my computer yesterday before Amanda and I went out for the night, and I had $500 in free play on one of my accounts. And I'm like, you know what? I like Purdue here. It's that time of the year where they should blow them out here, right? And I was wrong. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll throw this $500 on St. Peter's money line just for the hell of it and see what happens. Of course, I don't do it. And here we are. I don't know what to think of this game, Drew Martin bets, right? Everybody's on St. Peter's again. And like Trig said, rightfully so. It would be, the four of us, I mean, it would be North Carolina for me or pass. But I don't think I'm stepping in front of this St. Peter's team right now. I'm just not. It's insane. I thought a few times that Purdue was just going to absolutely pull away yesterday. I wasn't paying much attention to that game. I was watching the KU game, and Amanda kept saying to me, oh my God, they tied it again. And it's unbelievable. So God bless that team. Looks like, what's his name? Shaheen Holloway. Looks like he should have a permanent job at Seton Hall. That would be a no-brainer for them not to hire him.
You guys, I listened to his interview yesterday. It's very rare that I catch these like press conferences. He might be the most soft-spoken coach I've ever heard in my life. Like ever.
Yeah. I remember him at Seton Hall too, Trig.
Yep. I think he was on
good.
The good Seton Hall team that was like, was it Samuel Dallenberg maybe was on that team and they went to like the Sweet 16? I might be getting years mixed up, but
I think it was 02, but I could be wrong. But I remember
it was when I was in high school. I remember vividly that Seton Hall team with Holloway as a point guard when I was in high school. Yeah. That sounds right.
But Kel, you're right. I mean, yeah, very soft spoken, and yeah, they've been getting it done. They've beaten some. I mean, look who they beat: Kentucky, a great Murray State team. Purdue, yeah, sure. They absolutely could beat North Carolina.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good matchup for him, CT Bets. I mean, North Carolina, like Kelly said, it's not like the greatest UNC team that we've ever seen. So in terms of how it lines up, what I believe it's the highest, seed or the lowest seed, whatever way you want to look at it, 8 and 15 to ever play in the Elite Eight. So in terms of like the underdog region here or sub region, this is as low as it's ever been. So hey, it's their form. How far can the Cinderella run? We got last game here, guys. Then we got best bets. And any final thoughts? Miami Hurricanes, Kansas Jayhawks here. We're seeing Jayhawks -6. It looks like South Point in Vegas, high water market -6 in the hook, 147.5. Kelly, interested in your opinion here. Miami kind of surprising last night, but going up against Kansas, who's kind of arch rival for you. What are you thinking, Kelly?
This is really tough. Sorry, Johnny Detroit's texting me with important stuff because we're already planning another WagerTalk meet and greet, Super Contest weekend. He's blowing me up. I'm like, I'm on the hustle. What do you want from me right now?
It's in August, right?
But yeah, it's going to be awesome. The dates are not fully set for Super Contest weekend. John Murray said tentatively August 27th, 28th. It's a really great time, guys. If you've never been out for Super Contest weekend, Winner Circle Proxy Service is the preferred proxy service of WagerTalk, of course. And they do a golf outing. They do seminars. So yeah, my liver already hates me. But anyway, back to the game. We'll see you guys in August. This is tough, right? This is a Kansas team that I wasn't that high on this year. Point blank, period, the end. And maybe that's a little bit of bias to me. And I don't mean for that to be built in here, right? It shouldn't be whatsoever. But this was just not a KU team that I thought was traditionally a great team. Sure, they won 31 games so far. They have a decent defense, really solid offense. They like to run fast. On paper, this team is great. Miami, Drew, you nailed it. I liked Iowa State yesterday, and I really thought this Miami team was not that great. Nope. They absolutely waxed Iowa State. So congratulations to you on that one. My concerns are, can Miami out-rebound KU? No, they cannot. My concerns are as far as the team's depth, right? They don't have they don't have a deep bench. Are they going to be able to play, 40 minutes with the Jayhawks? I don't know. I think that the number in every single one of these games is spot on. So unless you find something situationally here to bet on, sure, no problem. I don't have a play here. And that's just because I haven't watched a ton of Miami this year. I know you have. And again, I wasn't that high on the Jayhawks, but last night I thought the Jayhawks looked like they were the right side. I didn't end up betting it. Providence didn't look great in the first half, came out and kept it really close. I thought, maybe KU might have went down yesterday. That's just full disclosure, no big opinion here.
Okay. In good analysis either way. You don't have to have a bet on all of them. But Kelly, I want to bring up Ren's comment here. Next round, we handicap the coaches. And a big part of me betting Miami was the better coach. But he brings up a good point from this, like this round. It's only one day off. So I don't think coaching advantage matters as much as it did the past round. So he brings up a good point in terms of, I want to be betting on the better coach, always, but it's even more at a premium first round and then Sweet 16 and then Final Four because you get that extra preparation time. But CT Bets, this is the last game here before we get to best bets. Are you betting anything Miami, Kansas?
I haven't yet. Drew Martin bets, as everybody knows, yesterday KU was my best bet of the day. I thought it was a great bet. I would make that bet again. Remy Martin couldn't hit a free throw to save his life down the stretch there. Providence looked awful in the first half. I thought the Kansas was going to run away with it. Great call to you on the Miami Hurricanes yesterday. Drew Martin bets, very well coached, and this team looks very good. I think the number is spot on. It's 6, right? I think that's right where it should be. I haven't got involved yet, Drew. I'll probably wait till tomorrow, see what the market does, see what the games happen today. I lean Kansas. I think Kansas is going to move into the Final Four. Like Kelly said, I wasn't high on this KU team this year at all. I saw him play in person. Baylor ended up winning by 10, but you could just tell that it's there. Bill Self, obviously, great coach, and the talent is there. I mean, last night they win that game. Abaji and Braun combined for 11 points. they win that game still. Kind of crazy. If you told me that the combined 11 points and still win by 5 last night, I'd probably tell you you're crazy. So I expect Kansas to have a much better second half tomorrow. I think it's going to be a close game for a while. Might be able to get a good number on Kansas in game. So might wait for that, Drew.
Okay, good stuff, CT. And Trig, finish us off here. Last game we're talking for today's card. Actually, the first game on tomorrow's card.
Yeah, I was just trying to get a stat here quick. But so I'll go back to the Miami-Iowa State game. I could be salty because I was on Iowa State, but I don't think Miami played particularly well at all in that game. I think Iowa State was just awful. I know they got out rebounded by Iowa State, which could be an issue. And Chris pointed out, Abaji really didn't do anything. And Kansas, like Remy Martin's just missing foul shots. Like they could have easily covered that number. I think Kansas is going to win this game. I'll have to figure out if I can stomach laying the points. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something similar to the Providence game where maybe Kansas is 5.5 come tomorrow. It looks like Miami's taking the bulk of the action so far.
Yeah.
So in my opinion here, I was really not impressed with Miami yesterday. It was more of just it was a horrible game, a million turnovers. And Iowa State, if they're not turning the ball over and they can buy one perimeter shot, are probably right in that game. So I don't think I'll be on Miami here. I would be looking toward Kansas. It'll really come down to, do I think I'm getting enough value on the number? And I think that would only happen if it moves a little bit more and we see like some 5.5s or 5s starting to pop up. Because Kansas with a Kansas effort, if you will, which I don't think that Providence game really was. I think they did enough to win, got out, and that was fine. But with a Kansas Jayhawk effort that they're capable of, they would win that game by probably double digits, in my opinion.
Good stuff, guys. We got best bets coming up. Remember, we are brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, vivatequilaseltzer.com. With the coupon code HUSTLE at checkout, takes 10% off. Viva. Our flavors pair perfectly with our artisanal Blanco tequila for subtle and refreshing drinks. We got best bets here, but Kelly, Paco's bringing up a good point, asking about this weekend that might be, it's in the works right now. It's not definitely in pen, it's in pencil, but is the opening, it's week 0 of NCAA football.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
And that's what Johnny just texted. And I said, listen, I talked to John Murray for almost an hour yesterday. And he said that in a perfect world, that will be SuperCon this weekend. And I hope it is. Last minute signups. I know that we're going to give out some Super Contest entries from WagerTalk. They have the golf outing that weekend. It sounds like Ski needs to redeem himself. So there's going to be another basketball tournament, maybe get some WagerTalk fans involved as well. It's going to be a great weekend, but I can't announce it fully until I get the full sign off from the Westgate, but I'm hoping to know 100% by May 1st, right? Like I'd like to have everything set in stone, set up perfectly. I'm also hoping that we can get some room rates for everybody because I don't think it's going to be that busy for the opening weekend, week 0, if you will. But I'd really like to be able to say, hey, you know what? You're a WagerTalk member, so you get rooms for whatever the best price that the Westgate can give us. And, we're going to be doing some seminars, stuff like that. I really enjoyed that back in the day when I was first getting into handicapping, and then even being honored to sit on the panels with people myself. And they kind of got away from that, obviously, with COVID and everything. So I think as far as WagerTalk goes, I'd like to bring that back, have some of our guys, maybe even invite some friends of the show and some other really smart handicappers to join us, talk college football, talk NFL, maybe 4 or 5 hours, hors d'oeuvres, beers, fun stuff, and kind of carry over the meet and greet just from the clubhouse to more of like a convention center setting where, we can spread out and there's not 100 of us literally in a, 25 by 50 like area.
Yeah, Kelly, you bring up, I think that was like the first year I didn't have a straight job. So it was like going out to Vegas. And I remember that year they had like a NFL panel. They had like a small conference college football panel, the Power 5 panel. And it was really cool just to be out there. They actually had a bar and you could just listen to the panelists talk about it from a betting perspective.
Yeah, and you come and go as you please and who you want to listen to talk. And, I really enjoyed it. I think I did like the AFC West the one year, and it was so terrible because I was sick as a dog. Like the whole side of my face, there's a picture of me, Johnny, VR. This was way before I worked at WagerTalk, and the whole side of my face was so swollen because my sinuses were so bad. And it's like the worst picture ever. And Johnny loves to tweet it out. I'm like, stop. I look like I have Bell's palsy on the one side of my face because I can't even open my eye. Can you please not tweet this photo? He's like, it's the day we all met. I'm like, that's great and all. I almost died from sinus, whatever, allergies. It was terrible. I'm sure I spoke terribly as well because I felt like absolute crap. So hopefully I can redeem myself. I'd like to really be able to sit up there and, kind of be able to, break down how I think the college football season is going to go. Obviously, we've got tons of other guys that work at WagerTalk, super smart. And maybe, even though CT Betts doesn't work at WagerTalk, maybe we'll get him up there. He can talk some NFL with everybody. And, maybe even like Kenny White, Paul Stone. I'm going to reach out to all these guys, see who all we can get. But I think it should be one of those like massive 3-day weekends with lots to do, lots to drink, lots to talk about, and really capitalize from this last meet and greet is my plan.
Yeah, let's do it, Kelly. That sounds fun. Week 0 of college football, guys, right there with the NFL preseason going on. It's actually a really good time of year just because we got football on the horizon. We get 4, 5, 6 games.
Yeah, and it's kind of your last ditch effort to hurry up and sign up for the contest because that last weekend is just such a mess. And not only our proxy service, but others don't put your picks in for you that first week because you're so inundated with everybody coming last minute. And I can't tell you how many times guys have signed up Saturday morning and not put their own picks in. I got to the point where 2 years ago, I was like, we're going to walk over to this kiosk right now. You're going to put your picks in because we're not doing it for you. So I hope, it's kind of that weekend before everything just gets crazy. And so it's nice to just get your signups in. And, you also qualify, I think, for the mini contest if you sign up before that weekend with the Westgate. There's a lot of things. Kelly, actor age, you're 50. I am definitely not 50, but thank you, Dab. I don't even know what that means. Act my age. I don't want to act my age. I don't want to act my real age.
And Kelly, you bring up the proxy service. That's Winner's Circle Proxy Service, correct? So
yes.
Guys, yeah, I recommend it. I've used Winner's Circle Proxy, and I actually cashed in on one of the contests. So great job.
You cashed in the Golden Nugget this year, correct, Drew?
I did. Yeah, 6th place. So
nice.
College football.
That's what he does.
Yeah, that was a nice one. So a nice little payday there. And Brett did a great job. No problems. All the picks in. So I definitely recommend Winner's Circle Proxy. Absolutely, guys. CT Betts getting in here, man. What final thoughts for the show, bro?
No, I love talking about WagerTalk. I pretty much do work there, even though Kelly says I don't. I act like I do. And still, I go on. They say CT Betts from WagerTalk. So, anyways. But somebody
one of these days, we're actually going to get you there. CT's working on it. He's got a lot of irons in the fire. Okay.
A lot going on here. Drew Martin Betts. I don't know if you want to pull it up, but Dylan Rockford said a few minutes ago, CT, we need Viva in New Jersey. Well, I talked to the main owner yesterday, and Viva just got into 2 bars in New York City.
Wow.
Yeah, right in New York City, and they're working on a couple bars in Hoboken. I believe that's kind of like the South Boston of New York. A lot of younger people in that cool area. And I know that they're working on New Jersey. So New York just got done. Obviously, we all know New York and New Jersey are like on top of each other. So it should be very soon, D-Rock. So keep that in mind. And you could also always order, like Drew Martin Betts tells you, Viva Seltzer on www.vivatequilaseltzer.com. Deliver right to your door.
Yeah, guys, and just get a little prep time before you order it, because last night, I'm going to tell a little story here. I go to Total Wine. I get a bottle of tequila. I'm going to watch the Canes game. I wasn't going to drink last night, but I did. And I'm thinking, all right, Viva with a shot of tequila, loaded Viva is my favorite drink. So I asked the manager, I'm like, do you have Viva? He's like, no, we don't have it. And I'm like, all right, what about a tequila seltzer? He's like, yes, we have one. And it turns out it's a competitor of Viva. I don't know the name, but I wouldn't say it on the show anyway. And I have it in CT Betts. It's not as good. It's not as good as Viva. I like the drink.
Well,
it's my favorite drink, but it's not as good.
That a lot of people don't realize, Drew, is they're not actually made with tequila. they're made with, so like this is me, Vegas, right? Learning about tequilas and all these different things, right? These vodka seltzers, right, that we all drink are just made with just a general vodka spirit. Well, tequila, there's actually flavor to it, unlike a neutral spirit in vodka. So what they're doing is they're using like a neutral spirit like vodka and using a flavoring to give it a tequila flavor. So that from what I understand, we are one of the only actual tequila seltzers on the market. So I'm almost betting I know which seltzer it is, and I've tried it. I like the lime flavor, of course I do. But also the ones that are the margarita ones that just came out, I sent them to Chris the other day. They're horrible. And I am a seltzer connoisseur. I'll tell you that. Just save your money. Their other flavors are okay, but the margarita one, Anyway, sorry, Drew.
No,
Can we get the best bet?
Yeah, it's real world. It's
ready
real
to
world
go.
stuff, though, Kelly.
I'm ready to
It's
go.
I did like the drink, though. I like the tequila seltzer is a good drink, but Viva's just better. So yeah, Kelly, let's get into best bets. I know.
And also, that's what ruined me. Whoever gave me a loaded Viva in Vegas, that is what absolutely ruined my day. I couldn't figure out how I got so drunk off just 3 Vivas. It's because I think what happened is there was only a couple of grapefruits left. And so I don't know who ordered it, but they must have listened to you. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take this here. You can have one of the berry flavors. And the guy was like, wait, what? And it was loaded. And I didn't realize that till I was like, man, this is really strong. Like halfway through, and I'm like, oh shit. And it was just game over from there.
Okay. Yeah, it's a loaded Viva. It gets you where you want to go. I like them. It's my favorite drink, guys. Shout out to the over 400 people watching live combined between the WagerTalk YouTube channel, simulcast live on the WagerTalk YouTube channel, and at the Hustle Show Pod on Twitter. We appreciate everybody joining us Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, Saturdays, 11 a.m. Eastern time, breaking down the games. We got best bets coming up and any final thoughts for the show. Trig, follow him on Twitter at TopFlightSI. What do you got for best bets, bud?
Drew, so my best bet is in the one non-NCAA tournament game today. It's the Basketball Classic. If you're looking for it, it's at 6 p.m. It's on ESPN+. I'm on the Portland Pilots +3. This team has not had, up until this year, with new head coach Shante Leggins, they had not had a winning season in 6 years, okay? They had won 1 game in the West Coast Conference in the last 3 years, and this year they went 19-14, 7-7 in the conference. They beat San Francisco in this in this new coach's first year. He's completely turned the program around. But more importantly, Southern Utah, top player Tavion Jones, broken wrist. He's not going to play. He's been done since the conference tournament. And that's a Southern Utah team that really struggles defensively. They really rely on their offense. It's why they didn't win that conference this year, even though they were projected to. And now they're going to be playing without their top player. I think people are going to look and see that they blew out UTEP, who clearly did not care about this tournament. I think Portland does. I think they're thrilled to be in the postseason after having not had a single winning season in the last 6 years. You're getting 3 points with a team that should be able to score points in this game. So Portland +3. It got hit. It was +4, quickly down to +3. I still think +3 is good. I actually think they win. Portland Pilots +3 is my best bet.
You're on the right side there with the point move there. Trig, hey, I liked everything you said. I agree with you. I think Portland's the better side. What about the travel, though? Cedar City, Utah, kind of one of the tougher places to get to.
You know, they've had a week. So Portland only had to play once in this tournament so far. They've had a full week to get ready for this game. Southern Utah played Kent State last week, and then they had to go play at UTEP earlier this week. So if any team's, maybe more tired out with the travel, it might be Southern Utah, who had to go down to El Paso and then travel back home, play the extra game. So I don't have a problem with it. I think Portland has no problem scoring here, and I think you're getting some nice value with +3. I like them to win.
I like it. Okay, so yeah, that extra time there, guys, for travel on Portland side of things. Good stuff from Adam Trigger. Check him out, wagertalk.com. He's got plays up. He's got free plays as well, and on Twitter at TopFlightSI. Kelly, at Kelly in Vegas. What do you got for best bets and any final thoughts here for the show, Kelly?
Sorry, I have to keep muting myself. I have a giant pit bull laying next to me, snoring extremely loud. So if you guys hear any weird sounds, that's what that is. That being said, clearly my best bet today is Houston. I love this defense. Look, they've been so great as an underdog all season long. And now as a favorite, I was kind of concerned about how they were going to fit into this role. But frankly, I like this team. I tweeted that I was concerned that how they were going to be joining the Big 12, not only in basketball, but in college football as well. It's probably not looking good for my Wildcats, but I'm going to bet against this Villanova team. I think this looks like a slow, methodical game. Both teams really like to control the pace. Both teams really solid defenses. I feel like this is a Drew Martin under type scenario. But where I do think that Houston's going to be able to capitalize is on the boards, and as well as they don't turn the ball over. They play really disciplined ball. So all I need for that team is to make your free throws. Yes, I'm still wearing the sweatshirt. It's super soft and it's amazing. So go over to Barstool and get yourself one, because they're more than college kids. They are expected to make their goddamn free throws. I again, don't like laying the points here. I did lay 2 the other night, tweeted it out when the lines came out. 2.5. Look, Ken Palm makes the game 2. And that's what I said about all these games. Bottom line, the lines are going to be really tight, right? There's only 8 games. The bookmakers know exactly what they're doing here. But situationally, I like the Cougars. Now, would I say that Kelvin Sampson is a better coach than Jay Wright? Of course not. Jay Wright's the bigger name here. But I think that's what's going to happen here is everybody's going to come in and say, all right, Nova, team that can make their free throws. We talked about this on Wednesday. One of the best free throw shooting teams in the country versus Houston. We know that they can struggle to make their free throws, but I do think that they will prevail and come out on top. That's the only game I bet in the next 2 days so far.
Yeah, and the market moving with you, Kelly. -2, -2.5, like you talked about. Houston, guys, 10-1 against the spread run right now, riding the hot hand. That's Kelly Stewart. Best bet, Houston -2.5. CT Bets 16 on Twitter. Any final thoughts for the show, buddy? And what do you got for best bets?
One final thought, Drew Martin Bets. There was, I don't know if he's still listening. Jimmy J in the comments was asking how he gets some Viva golf tees and koozies. DM me. I'll have my brother send you some. So we'll take care of that. No problem. Drew Martin Bets. I'm a pretty nice guy, Drew Martin Bets. I mean, want to take care of these people. They're buying the Viva. You know, my brother wants to support them. Give them some koozie. Give them some teas. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in CT Bets, actually a follow-up to that, Abel's saying Patron Silver. I'm not a huge fan of Patron. What do you think on that?
I'm not either. I think there's a lot better tequilas out there. I'm more of the handmade, local, the own from Jalisco, Mexico. That's where all tequila is made. And the big name tequilas just don't do it for me. It's the celebrities putting their name on something and putting additives in it, in my opinion. And that's what Patron is. So story for
Patron's
another
trash. No, bottom line, Patron.
Chris,
I mean, if I have to, like if I'm at like a dive bar up by my dad's house and I want a margarita, I have to, because that's what they're going to have behind the bar. But Paco said it earlier. He nailed it. Hornitos is a great value buy. It's still 100% agave. And I'm not going to drink it straight by any means, but if I'm making margs all day, I would take Hornitos over Patron.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to add, I never was a tequila drinker until Chris got me on Viva, because I never really liked tequila. And that's like the thing. So if you're out there and you're like, well, I don't drink tequila, well, you know, you should still try Viva, because it's so, if you want the tequila flavor, you just load it up like Drew Martin Betts does and dump a whole shitload of tequila in it.
I mean,
if you just want something easy to drink, Viva, it doesn't even really, I don't even think you get hit with that tequila that much with it. It's just like really easy to drink. So yeah, I mean, but I'm not a fan of that tequila either.
Well, Drew Martin Bets, I'm going to go with my best bet here. And they've been pretty good when Kelly and I are on the same side. I woke up this morning and didn't remember this, but I was high off of Vivas and high off the Houston win on Thursday night. And I have a 5K ticket on Houston money line, -25. So I am sticking with the Cougars. I like them to win, Drew Martin Bets. I am not hedging my 40-1 ticket at all. I think they take care of business tonight against Jay Wright and the Wildcats. Drew Martin Bets, you're going to love this because you love stuff like this, but Nova has this thing within their system that Wright and all the players say, and it's called they catch to. Normally it's, catch and shoot, but their motto is catch to shoot. Well, Drew Martin Bets, I'm going to tell you one thing right now. If they don't stick to that motto right tonight, catch to shoot, they're going to be in for a very long night, because Houston is going to give them very, very little time to get those shots off. Houston, our friend Clint, he pointed this out earlier in the chat, and I had this written down that I was going to say, but wanted to give him a little shout out. Nova struggles with big, lengthy teams, and we saw it earlier in the year versus Marquette. Marquette absolutely took it to this Nova team. Well, Houston is very tall, lengthy, and athletic, and I think they're going to give those short guards a very tough time tonight. Drew Martin Betts, the only thing that concerns me is we saw Houston get into some foul trouble real early and real quick on Thursday night. They had 5 fouls with 16 minutes left in the first half. Had to take Jamal Shed out, who's their stud sophomore point. The true freshman played really well, but I'd like to see more. Jamal Shed really controls the game. Obviously, we saw what Fabian White did. He's been nails all year long. I think they advanced tonight. Drew Martin Betts. So I'm on the money line on the Cougs. Go Cougs.
Okay, so loading up here. 2 bets on the Cougars -2.5. Good analysis from CT Bets 16 on Twitter. Guys, for my best bet, I am going to Arkansas. Ooh, Pig Suey +4 with the underdog here, guys. 16-5, their last 21 against the spread. One of the longer term best bets, against the spread runs that I can really remember in college basketball. Up against Duke, look, Coach K, kind of the setup from the NCAA to have Duke versus UNC. It does scare me a little bit, but it scared me a little bit more against Texas Tech. They're in West Texas. They were already, they already made their run last year. Arkansas's got a big fan base. They got the Musselman thing going, really good, talented team. I don't think they're going to be able to kind of do that this time around as much anyway. And I think Arkansas, their transition defense, guys, the run, like I talked about in the beginning of the show, 0.79 points per possession in their last 2 games. And that includes against Gonzaga, arguably the most efficient offense in the country. This defense is in lockdown mode right now. We're getting the better defense, like the under, but for the best bet, I'm going +4 on Arkansas. So that's Arkansas +4 for me. CT Bets and KIV on Houston -2.5. And we got Trig, Portland +3. Hitting the chat box here before we shut it down, guys. A lot of opinions here.
I interrupt you real quick because I'll tweet it out. She first of all, she has Houston -2. And I have Houston money line from earlier in the week -125. So I like -2 as well, but just wanted to clarify there. Just in case this game does land too, and all of a sudden Kelly and I are getting blown up. You guys,
we're starting to see 3s pop up. So if you like Houston,
higher one now.
Yeah, you're a little late. I mean, -155. You have a great money line. That was probably the play, CT. I should have been paying more attention.
Well, that was the Vivas doing the little trick, and I was high off of that huge win that with the staying the 41 ticket alive. Cal didn't even realize it this morning. So.
And a lot of people giving their opinions here, guys, on different tequilas. So thanks for that. Please smash the like button. Open all day for your comments in the reply section below, guys. I'll be in there replying. Hey, on tequila, on sports bets, it all works here on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. For Kelly Stewart, Chris Thurston, Adam Trigger, I am Drew Martin. Guys, make sure to check out vivatequilaseltzer.com. Promo code HUSTLE takes 10% off. Check out wagertalk.com. The best free live odds in the industry. Also a bunch of free plays up there from all the handicappers. Have a great Saturday. Best of luck with your bets. We'll see you Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Come back and join us. Peace.